Okay, introducing my next special guest now. The interviews keep on coming. We have a special guest joining me on my show, on my podcast and radio show. We have Bethany Becker. Bethany Becker, welcome to my show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm psyched to be here.
Brilliant. I nearly called you Bethany Beckham then with the football, but no, it's Bethany Becker. Welcome to my show. How we doing?
Doing great this morning. I've got my coffee. I'm interviewing on the radio, so it's always a good day.
Oh, start the day off with a coffee. You can't go wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah. I need my coffee. Yeah, it's like blood. I need my
It is.
daily infusion.
And where are you in the globe right now, this second?
So I am in the USA. I live in Texas. I live in Austin. So we like to call ourselves the live music capital of the world. So it's a decent place to be as an artist for sure.
I was about to say it's a place to be at the moment with Beyonce and Dasha.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good little spot.
That's that's awesome. And would you like to just tell me and my listeners a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Of course, yeah. Well, hi everyone. My name's Bethany. I am an independent country pop rock, introducing in some more Americana elements in my new music, artist. And I have been working professionally in the industry for over a decade now. So it's been lots of little pieces of my journey. I've been on tour. I've played over 127 shows in 1 year at one point. And kind of been all over the place as far as my career goes.
Wow, 10 years and they're still going strong. Does it still feel like
Yes.
yesterday when you first started?
It really does. It really does. Every anniversary of my debut record coming out, I'm like, has it really been that long? 'Cause I dropped my first EP at 16 and I'm 26 now. So it's definitely been a minute, but I'm happy with where my journey has led me. My new EP that's coming out. This is my first time I'm actually saying that there's a full EP and not just a single. I've got an EP dropping July 20th. And it's this time I got to be well, I when I first recorded in my teens, I didn't understand the whole process of everything, like the production and the like whole technical side of things. But since then I've studied and become an audio engineer myself, so I was in the studio for pretty much every session. My band and I put everything together with our amazing producer Joe McDermott. My husband Blake Jurison produced some of the tracks, and so it's fun to have all of the music, have my hands in every little aspect
Yeah.
at this point, so I'm very excited about that.
So fair to say it's been a learning curve the last 10 years, and but it's been
Yes.
a developmental process along the way.
Absolutely, yeah. It's and lots of highs and lows. I like to say that I'm still kicking is my
Yeah,
little phrase that I say
yeah.
when it comes to the music industry because I've had toxic team members, I've had wonderful team members, I've had record deals, I've been offered record deals that I didn't take, and then it's just been a big puzzle piece of figuring out what is the best path for me, what's the most effective path to, impact my fans more and get them more, content and music that makes them happy. And yeah, it's been a process, but I feel really good about where I'm at right now.
Mm. I always say to the people I interview, there's a game called Play Your Cards Right. It's a card game, and I
Uh-huh.
always say the music industry is like that, ups and downs. You know, you get your
Mm-hmm.
aces and your lows as well. It sounds like music
Absolutely.
was always something you were born to do. How did you first come into music? Do you remember like picking up your first guitar, playing the piano, or listening to your first song on the radio, buying the CD?
Oh my goodness. Well, I've always said that since I realized I couldn't grow up to be an actual like princess or mermaid or combination of the two is when I wanted to be a singer. Ironically, I actually do perform professionally as like a princess character now. That's one of my side gigs. So that's funny at this point. But yeah, no, I remember my first big music memory is singing the little riff from The Little Mermaid where she gets her voice stolen just over and over and over again, and my brother's telling me to shut up in a hotel room. But I've just always loved to sing. In my second grade birthday, I went into like a little mall recording studio and recorded Wake Up by Hilary Duff, and got involved in it professionally at I was 12 or 13 at that time. So we built a recording studio in my closet, covered it in sound conditioning foam, and my dad and I put together my first cover demo CD, which my dad is not a producer. He tried his best, and
Mm.
it ended up in the right hands somewhere, and I guess someone saw potential, and it ended up taking off and kickstarting my whole journey. But yeah, no, I knew at like, gosh, I don't even know how young I was. I've known forever that this is what I want to do,
Mm.
and been in it for, like I said, a decade at this point,
Yeah.
more than a decade. But yeah.
And growing up in your teens, do you remember watching like your childhood TV programs where you see like your pop stars of today, like Miley Cyrus, and you mentioned Hilary Duff,
Oh, oh
and then
yeah, no.
before
Yeah,
before then, before I'm sure my age,
sorry, go
before then
ahead.
it's Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears, Mickey Mouse
Hmm.
Club.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know. Hillary Duff was like, I didn't have Disney Channel until like the second grade, or yeah, and so Hillary Duff was like the first person I really listened to, and I was the biggest Miley Cyrus Hannah Montana fan ever. It's funny because out of that's the celebrity lookalike I get the most is Miley Cyrus, which I don't see it that much, but
Yeah.
I have had some people like really insist on it before.
Mm.
But Taylor Swift has my heart. I'm a major Swiftie. As you can see, your listeners can't. I have a Taylor's version
Yeah.
sign on the wall behind me that my
Yeah.
husband got me for Christmas. But
Have you seen Taylor in concert? What's that experience like?
3 times now. I got to go to the Eras tour, which I know is mega coveted. I feel very blessed. She is just an incredible performer. It's really wonderful to watch her as an artist and learn from her. And I take a lot of my performance techniques from watching how Taylor Swift moves with her music and interacts with her crowd.
Mm.
One of these days I'm gonna meet her. I I wrote a song with Liz Rose, who is very closely connected to her. So I'm like, I've been so close, but so far. I hope I get to meet her one day. I've always wanted to meet her in a professional setting, so maybe one day Taylor and I will work together. We'll see what
I'm sure
happens.
you will, you know. What's
Oh,
your
thank
favorite
you.
what's your favorite Taylor album?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. I've been asking myself this. I've been contemplating going to Spotify and like using math to figure out which one is my favorite. But right now, my kind of comfort album that I'll just like stream is Evermore, which is funny because it's one of her like more overlooked ones, I
Hmm.
feel like. But growing up, I always thought of myself as a Speak Now person. But
Yeah.
my all-time favorite Taylor song is All Too Well, which is
Mm.
from the Red album. So, oh, if you get me talking about Taylor Swift, Danny, we'll be here for way longer than 15 minutes.
Sure. I just wanted to add, my favorite record of hers is Style. It's quite deep, isn't it? And dark.
Uh-huh.
From 1989.
Oh yeah, yeah, I like that one. That's a good
Right.
one. The
On,
music video's cool
sure,
too.
sure. Onto your music now. I wanted to chat about some of your releases. Bring on the Rain. Was that one of your records that you made?
Bring on the Rain. No, that is actually that's a cover song of
Okay.
mine. Yeah. But one of my records that I have is I've got a full album out right now. It's self-titled, and it's it's I've always thought of it as it's really fun country pop music, but there's like a maturity in the writing. I've always been told I'm like, mature beyond my years. And so if you listen to the songs, there's actually some pretty good themes in there, even though
Mm.
it's very much a country pop, fun teenager. That's when I wrote it album. My new EP coming out is definitely has more of a rock edge to it on top of the country pop. And you know, a lot of life has happened between the first album and the new one, and so I'm excited for everyone to hear like kind of the edge that's coming with the new
Mm.
music. I think it's not too much. I'm not going like full Reputation era on everyone, but it's definitely it's gonna be fun. I have the first single out right now, called If the Boot Fits, and it's about church covering up a murder in a small town. So it's a fun one for
Yeah.
sure.
A bit of a hidden mystery there in the song.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's well, it's called If the Boot Fits because the narrator, I guess, in myself, knows that this person is guilty.
Mhm.
Even though, no one else wants to admit it.
Yeah. And that
So it's
record's just
interesting.
been dropped, doesn't it? I've just noticed that's come up on the streaming
Hmm.
services. Hot off the
Yeah.
press.
Yes, hot off the press. Yes, that dropped not this it dropped on the what day was it? I should remember my release days. June 7th is when that one dropped.
Right.
And it's been really fun. It's been really well received. Definitely had the biggest reception out of any single I've dropped so far. So very excited about that one. That one's got the personal place in my heart, even though it is like a a semi seeming random song about my students have affectionately called it church murder. So but it's a special song to me, and it's special that people have enjoyed it as much as they have.
And what's the feeling like when you hear your song being played back on the radio or in a shopping mall?
I mean, it's always surreal. It's there's a big imposter syndrome that I feel about being a part of this industry. I've gotten to do some really cool things. I mean, releasing music and hearing it and hearing other people listen to it and respond to it is, always, why I do what I do is to create music and touch people with it. And so um it's always surreal to hear it on the radio and be like,
Hmm.
that's me. No, I don't feel like I'm just like a normal. I collect pandas. I've got so many pandas sitting here off camera. Like, I'm just like a normal weird girl from Texas, and I'm on the radio. What? So it's always a weird feeling, but it's always it's really cool. It's really that's no word can describe it better than like it's really cool and really surreal.
So positively all round.
Yes, super positive.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your new single release, what do you hope your listeners will take from this latest single release? Would you like to see them dancing or,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think it's super fun. I think it's got a little bit more edge than anything I've released before, so I hope people enjoy that. It's got some underlying themes in there of some, like I said for my last record, it's fun, but then there's also like there's something important in it too. It has some underlying themes of calling out the church on some of their hypocrisy, and then also the justice system in certain ways. And
mm,
so it's got underlying themes there, but also it's super fun, and it's about, taking justice into your own hands. So I think it's got that vindicative vibe to
yeah.
it that I hope people kind of like and are like, yeah, like rooting for the hero in the story to, bring the justice to the villain. So
It's,
I hope it's fun.
what I like about music, what I like about music as well, if you've got something on your chest, it's a good release, isn't it, to put your thoughts into songwriting, whatever it may be.
Absolutely, yeah. And this song was interesting because it actually started as I went to Berklee School of Music. I ended up getting my degree all online through them, but it was really cool. Technically, I graduated with Ringo Starr because he was an honorary doctorate my year. So I like to throw that fact out. But for one of my school assignments, I had to collaborate with someone on a song, and my husband Blake Jerson is a professional musician as well, and he's handy to have around when I had to do collaborations with other people. And so he had written a track for me, an instrumental track that he wanted me to write something to. And the first version of the song, If the Boot Fits, was about small town gossip. And it was good enough to give me an A, but it wasn't a great song. It wasn't. And so I was sitting there, because I wanted it to be a great song. I loved the hook, If the Boot Fits. And so and there was a church scandal that went on around my area that I did know some of the people involved. And so that's what ended up coming out, was turning what happened. It wasn't a murder, but turning the crime that did happen into a murder, and creating this song. So it definitely was a personal, like, healing release moment creating this. And also super fun that when it came out, other people who could tell what it was about were texting me like, yes, spill the tea. And so that was definitely, when you talk about music being a good like release towards those things. So not only was it for just like social justice or anything in general, it was for definitely something very personal as well.
Of course. And will you be touring in the foreseeable future? Do you do local gigs, so looking to broaden your horizons?
Yes, yes. So I right now I'm focusing on Texas. Would love to make it over there to the UK. That'd
Mm.
be awesome. Definitely a goal of mine. But the show I'm really looking forward to is on July 20th, when I drop the full EP. It's
Mm.
gonna be really exciting. It's at the Quackenbush Coffee House, such a silly name. The Quackenbush Coffee House's listening room here in Austin, Texas, and I'm super excited about it. I have some openers joining me, including Trashy Annie, who's also a local Austin artist, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun time.
Seems like Texas is the place to be then.
It's a fun place to be. It's I mean, it's huge. There's definitely opportunity here. I mean, as a country artist, I spent a lot of time in Nashville. Also love Nashville, but right now I'm pretty content here in
Yeah,
Austin. Everyone's wanting to run to LA or Nashville, and I'm an actress as well, so there's
yeah,
definitely appeal in being in those places. But Austin's got a very unique music scene and a lot of cool people here. So
yeah,
it's been fun to work here
yeah.
and live here.
Amazing. I do like your barbecue sauce.
And my barbecue,
Te
oh, from Austin.
yeah, Texas
We do
barbecue
have
sauce.
we do have really good barbecue sauce. There's a barbecue chain here called Rudy's that surprises people because they always have a gas station attached. So it
Yeah,
looks like a gas station
yeah,
restaurant, but it's like our most famous barbecue
yeah.
chain, and their barbecue sauce is fire. I will plug Rudy's barbecue sauce.
Very nice just talking about it. Have you heard of, certainly going off tangent here, but have you heard of Worcestershire sauce, which is Liam Perrin's?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just,
I have a hard time saying it. Like, am I even gonna try? Worcestershire. Is
yeah,
that is
that's
that
it. Yeah,
okay? There we go. I got it. I was like, I'm gonna trip over the
yeah.
syllables there.
Well, my background behind me, that's Worcestershire, where you see here,
Is it really?
yeah, the
It's
countryside.
very pretty. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
brilliant.
goodness.
And I just wanted to ask, what do you like about being independent? Like being your own boss creatively, and what are your opinions on people who kind of go down the fast track route? Like reality TV and all that, like American Idol.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I have like pursued the reality TV route before, and I think, if you make it on one of those shows, then awesome. I think some of the people who do well on those shows, unfortunately, didn't have the business knowledge foundation as an artist to continue with that momentum after either getting eliminated or winning, and then kind of fizzle out just a little bit. And so I think I have no problems with the reality TV track. I think, hey, if you get on there, it's awesome. I think it's important for people to know, and I'm telling this to the listeners too, that they're casting a reality TV show. So they're not just looking for, as an actress, like I have knowledge of that industry, and I know that, if I walk up there and they've already cast like a short, like country pop artist, from Texas, there's no way I'm gonna go on the show. But it's if I was to be on the show, that would be great. And for the people who are on the show, I would say go study the industry and learn what steps you need to take after you get off the show and you don't have that to kind of help you anymore.
Yeah.
Um, as far as being independent, I've really enjoyed, I mean, let me backtrack. I've enjoyed a lot of being independent. It is hard at times because you don't have the a support behind you of a label. But I've also had labels that did not support me very well. So I would much prefer getting to be my own boss. This record, I had even split ways with my manager before this record, so I got to do whatever I wanted on it, and that was a really fulfilling experience, and I'm very proud of what like my band and I have come up with. So that's been the best part of being fully independent for me, is just regaining total creative control. It is challenging. I will say I do a lot of work myself. Like I manage all my own social accounts. If you talk to me on there, I'm there. It's actually me. I do all my own graphic design. I even do some of my own photo shoots. So it's an interesting, you gotta, be able to do a lot of different things to pull off being independent, or be able to make enough connections to get people to help you with those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I've enjoyed it for the creative
Yeah.
control.
I know through previous interviews of doing this so many, there's more to it than just singing a song and recording it. The
Oh my
promotion,
goodness.
content creation,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because I feel like everyone who's not in the industry thinks they know exactly how to succeed in it. Like so many people will come up and be like, "You just got to post those videos on the YouTubes, and you'll go
Yeah.
viral."
Yeah.
It's much more complicated than that.
Sure,
More
some some
nuanced.
some some realistic views on the industry. I mean, like Carrie Underwood, she done well out of American Idol, didn't she? She's perhaps one
Yes.
of the most recognizable ones, so
I love
um,
Carrie Underwood. She's
she's good, isn't she?
fantastic. Yeah.
Right, cool. And as you say, follow you on the socials. People can just follow
Yes.
you on there, Bethany Becker.
Yes, Bethany Becker. Sometimes it's Bethany_Becker. If you type in my name, I'll pop up. Basically.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks very much for taking time out to speak to me on today's show. Much obliged, as we English say. Yeah, and best of luck with this new record as well. And with your permission, shall we play it?
Oh, I would absolutely love that.
Brilliant. We'll do that. That was Bethany Becker on the Dennison Radio Show here in the UK.